Thank you, Madam Speaker. And obviously, I would disagree wholeheartedly, virtually on most of the points that the member has expressed. What she just finished talking about was a Conservative election platform that Canadians outright rejected in the last election. And contrary to the misinformation, we have a Prime Minister that has been aggressively looking at expanding trade opportunities, exports for Canadian businesses, both small, medium, and large. At the same time, Madam Speaker, literally bringing in hundreds of millions, going into billions of investment. He's been the Prime Minister since April the 28th, Madam Speaker, when we had the last election, along with 70 new members of Parliament. This government is committed to building Canada strong. Our actions, whether it's legislation, budgetary measures, is fulfilling our campaign platform. Why would we want to put in reverse?
The honourable member for Thornhill.
Speaker, I would just like to remind all of those watching at home that it is this member that stood in that seat for 10 years and completely reversed himself after the election, instilling the policies that, yes, we ran on in the last campaign. So what we're asking him is to go a little further and instead of talking about them at a podium, actually get them done for Canadians. Canadians are waiting and they don't have much longer.
Questions and comments. The honourable member for Montcalm. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Welcome back to the House. This is the first time that I've risen to speak so far this year. I wish you a good session. This is a motion to restore Canada's sovereignty faced with the United States. But members of the New Voice Alliance, who represent oil sands production, are owned by foreign companies, 60% by Americans. These companies made profits of $131 billion. $69 billion were distributed to American shareholders, and they want to talk about sovereignty. The member for Thornhill.
I remind the member that this country has what everybody wants beneath the ground. We have critical minerals, oil and gas, the smartest people in the world to get that out, and all we have is a government standing in the way of all of that. And yes, I would like Canada to be more resilient, and I would like Canada to be more sovereign, and the best way to do that is to give the world what God gave us.
The honourable member for Waterloo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to also just send some friendly New Year's wishes, and I hope the 2026 season treats her and her loved ones and all constituents and Canadians well. I listened intently to the members' comments, and I think today's debate has been an interesting one. I know that we use references to the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Stephen Harper when it's convenient, and then I know when members on this side use that example, Conservatives say, well, that was decades ago. And I think, we do need to recognize that sometimes actions do take time before we can reap some of the benefits or the challenges that come with them. And so I think when the member refers to just Canada's reputation on the international stage, I would like to also just like to hear the member's comments as to why Canada does not have a seat on the Security Council, because it was under the decade of darkness the first time we lost that seat in a decade. And I do just believe, because I think when certain members talk about cooperation, that this member is one of those ones that wants to see her constituents and Canadians succeed. I want to see the same for the riding of Waterloo. So I would just like to hear from her what her comments are on that, and if she agrees with former Cabinet Minister James Moore's comments that the Conservatives do need to have a real plan and anger can't just be their platform. Thank you.
Member for Thornhill.
I will extend wishes to my friend across the aisle for a Happy New Year, and a Happy New Year to her constituents. When it comes to Canada's voice on the world stage, there is no question that over the last decade, we have lost the moral authority. We have let terror cells create a home, laundering money in our own country, intimidating our own citizens. We have lost our principles. Like, foreign policy comes with moral clarity. And we have lost all of that under successive Liberal prime ministers. And I would love the days of Stephen Harper back when it comes to foreign policy, when this country was respected.